fucked up because you have like 5, 6 generations of people that haven't seen a healthy relationship and they have nothing to reference.
Yeah.
So, except
Uh,
for these damn rap songs, it's telling you my coochie's pink, my booty hoes brown. Well, how the fuck is that gonna make your relationship good?
you just wanted to say that again. Chi-Town Tony, what say you, man?
I did. You got me.
Oh
So,
gosh.
so I came in on a very couple last seconds of what she was saying. So, I really can't give any input. But I will say this though to caveat what was just said. I think that um, a lot of the issue does come from not having a perfect. I ain't gonna say perfect. Not having a great example of how to navigate through life and through relationships. Um, all some generations see, or some in previous and the new generations. My pussy is my bag.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, I was flipping through Facebook last night and saw a young lady say, "Hey, dudes that know how to change tires and bleed brakes and all this, that's money. It may not be, money that you can hold, but it's money because we doing stuff on our own, and so uh, I think that, and I really wish I could remember that young lady's name to give her credit because she may end up listening to the show one day, but you know who you are. Um, but yeah, no, I have to agree with that 100% that a lot of these young adults are not don't know what it means to actually to hold for to hold a true value in a relationship because they was never taught. You know,
Yeah.
that's my little 2 minutes of input from what I jumped in on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's interesting that you brought up the stuff about a guy who's able to do stuff, and basically save money. It's kind of where she was going with that. But one of the things that I find super weird, um, a lot of folks, I don't think they have a true concept of money, and here's why I say that. I say that because when you see these different interviews and they ask a woman, whether it's a dating show or whatever, they ask her, well, how much does he need to make? You know, how much how much does he need to make? And folks will say whatever they want, but a lot of times I think the number is so inflated. Like it's like, where are they coming with this number? Yeah, he need to make at least 400,000. What?
I'm not a millionaire. It's a sexy thing to say. I don't know where everybody had to make 6 figures when the median income is like half that.
Yeah, it's like but no, it's I think it's more than just saying it. Oh yeah, I need 6 figures, but they're demanding it. Like, where does this demand come from though? That's that's weird to me. Oh yeah, he needs to make this amount of money. First of all, that ain't normal. And for the dude who is making that, why would he choose you? Like, I'm seriously, Cleveland. What say you, man?
But
I think nowadays, man, it's like the younger generation is trained to shoot above their level. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, for all intents and purposes, they doing it. They shooting their shot way higher than where they probably should be shooting. But when it comes to that, but from what she was saying, man, I mean, like, you know, I had my dad in my life and everything, and we was raised differently just because people from Guam are a little bit different with it being a matriarch type system and stuff like that. Like, yeah, our fathers are always there, but we always praise our moms and everything like that. So we was raised with that and brought up uh in that way, so that when we get older and everything and get married, we like treat our women like queens and everything like that out gate because that's what our dad showed us to do and everything like that. We hold it down and we do all this extra, but I thought the thing about the video that I thought was funny was when at first when she was like you know, you shut the fuck up and do this and do that. And then all them girls were like, nah. And then she was like, nah, let me finish. You know what I'm saying? And then she gets into like some solid points. They was like, oh, well, that's true. You right. You right on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, dude ain't gonna check for you.
If did in between a lot of craziness, just so we didn't end the show on such a somber note. But we kind of got to talk about this, and what I'm alluding to is what has happened in Florida. We know a while back there was an instance where a sheriff's office, the whole the whole acorn thing, dude said he was taking fire and he got it all. Acorn had fallen on the vehicle. He starts shooting, talking about he was hit and everything else. Well, that same sheriff's office, for shooting an airman 6 times in his home, and they may have entered the wrong apartment. I think they're still trying to figure all of that out. But Senior Airman Roger Fortson, 23 years old, assigned to the 4th Special Operations Squadron at Herbert Field, was alone in his apartment May 3rd when police burst through the door and failed. Now, if you've seen the actual video, the body cam video has been released, and it shows officers talking to a woman who apparently had put in some kind of complaint, and she's like, "This isn't the first time." He is armed, and they shoot him. He's armed, but he's holding his hand up like, "Oh, John, I ain't know it was y'all," kind of deal. And they killed him. He was in the apartment alone, on the phone with his girlfriend, and they killed him. Every time we deal with something like this, it's like, for what, right? It's like, why we dealing with this again? And I really, really, really am interested in seeing how they handle this one. I think it's been made clear by our nation that black men are not that high up on the totem pole. What I'm interested in seeing is if being a black man who happens to be an airman or just a military member, period, if that makes a difference. Because if it makes a difference now, because in the past it has not made a difference. You gotta remember, there were black men that were lynched in their uniforms not that long ago. There were black men who were spat upon when coming back from Vietnam not that long ago. Before that, you got people getting beat down and everything else coming back from the Korean War. So here we are now in 2024. How is it going to go down now? Gentlemen, what say you?
Well, damn, I just missed my turn. Personally, just recently leaving Florida. First and foremost, it's a sad event. Condolences to the family for sure. Florida, man, and this is a national issue, right? But specifically Florida. One of the reasons why I chose to leave Florida was because my anxiety level went through the roof when I was back in Florida, right?
Yeah.
I kept guns probably in every room of my house while I was there because of the racism and everything. And, you know, unfortunately, as military, we got to go where we're told unless we try to get out the assignment. So as a black man wearing uniform, I'll go that route. As a black man that has worn a uniform, at some point, and I think it should have already came to it should have already came and went where our lives should be looked at as equal to, if not above, other people, specifically those in other people in uniform. I think that as a nation, we've lost the sense of understanding and why is it my and so
I think we're losing
I,
them.
I think that it's gonna have to happen. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I think that something's gonna have to happen. I necessarily don't think we need to go out and destroy things. I think that we need to come together as a body and start working towards legislation, man. Remove that immunity that cops get. Allow them to be sued and all that other stuff. A lot of emotions about that, so if I'm not giving a direct answer, please forgive me. But somebody, as somebody like I said who just left Florida, it hits close to home because I've been in situations that could have went wrong. And to answer your question, I think the answer is we got to come together as, first and foremost, we got to come together as people, as a Black African American race, come together and hold these politicians accountable, or put our people in place to actually give us to actually speak for us, to incorporate laws or introduce laws. I understand the George Floyd Act and the turmoil that happened with that and people pushing back against it and everything else. Some would say just leave America as a whole. All Black people leave America, right? And
you already love. You said I'm out.
You know, that's the only rational thing I can think about is we come together and vote and put people in place that can actually help us make a difference. Because we seeing what's done with other ethnicities or other religion, right?
Yeah.
How certain things are done, and guess what? Boom. Oh, we're gonna fund this. We're gonna fund that. And I think that's where it starts at. I don't think we should be out there tearing up the streets because for years I've always been the person that says, look, you complain about not having, and I'll get off this rant. You complain about not having nice stores, but when stuff happens, we tear up our own neighborhoods versus going to their neighborhoods and tearing them up, right? So, as far as the young brother that lost his life, I think that there should be everything should be on the table to truly investigate and prosecute them officers.
Well, those
There
officers
shouldn't be no
chilling
excuses,
at the house,
nothing like that.
getting paid right now. That's what they're
So,
doing.
you know.
But I agree with you.
So let me say this before I shut up. My situation was I'm at home, Ring camera goes off, the sheriff in front of my house. I'm like, thinking, what did I do? Go to the door. I had my Glock on me, but she didn't see it, right? So she knocked on the door and says, "Hey, your neighbor." She actually came to me and was like, "Your neighbor car got broken into last night. Do your cameras actually point in that direction?" She's like, "I see you got cameras all around the house." I was like, "Yeah." And so I helped the officer, but in a split second like that, my heart started beating fast. Like, yo, what the fuck what's she coming to my door for? Because, you know, let's just say when I reached to show her my the camera on my phone, if she'd have saw my Glock, you know what I'm saying? Like my heart was beating, and I wasn't thinking. I
And
go to the door. I don't know who the hell.
you in
I
your
know there's a sheriff
house.
at the door, but you know, so that's I'm not comparing my situation to his, but I understand having somebody come to the door and you trying to figure out what the hell they want. So I'll shut up. Please forgive me. I guess I got a lot of emotions when it comes to that, and I still got two sons in Florida.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one son. My other son already gone. Is already gone from Florida. I still got one son in Florida, and so that's a fear for me as well.
Yeah.
Thank God that he'll be here in 20 something days, but still, that's a fear. Him walking home or him answering his mom's door because somebody's doing something, and then I get a phone call that I pray that none of us ever have to live through. Uh, you know, that bothers me. And Florida is the wild, wild west. Like Florida legitimately is the wild, wild west. From people openly talking about being racist to the stuff that's going on with the governor. Let me shut up and keep my comments. So, all right,
Boy.
I digress.
Chi-Town Tony, y'all. Dr. Brooks, Cleveland. What do y'all have to say about all this? I will. You know what? Let me just say this real quick before you get started. Chi-Town Tony, it could have easily gone that way, but in your case, and I'm so glad that it didn't. But I'll say this: they there's always a big point made in our nation as far as a man's ability and right to protect his home. And here it is, we had an individual who, as far as I know, he didn't have a Ring camera in his home, but someone was beating on his door very loudly, and he wanted to know who in the world is beating on my door like this. So he came through with his arms, as he has a right to bear, and for him doing it, he was cut down. Dr. Brooks, go ahead.
No diddy.
um, like this is kind of hard for me to like talk about. Like, of course, it's wrong and everything like that, but it's like it's, my plight's different than y'all's fight. You know what I'm saying? And like we can joke around and be like, "Oh yeah, no, you just like one of us, Cleveland." Da 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 da. But at the end of the day, like they gonna look at me and view me differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I might have to worry about ICE kicking in my door because of my last name being Garcia and everything like that. But like other than that, like for me, I don't think I'm in the right place to be one to talk about it, other than like there's so many cases for it being wrong and the cops getting away with things that they just shouldn't be able to get away with. But I don't think it's my place to speak on this subject.
Respect. Um,
Well, hold on. Let me interject something. Why wouldn't it's a question? I'm not challenging. Why would it not be your place to speak on it? Because you are a person of color, correct?
Right. I said it like, yeah, I am a minority and I can be viewed that way, but let's be real. Like all minorities aren't viewed the same, and people love Islanders right now. So you know what
y'all
I'm saying?
y'all
Like,
hot right now.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me to speak on it like it's oppressing my people and this is something we've been dealing with, it's not something my people have been dealing with. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I support definitely and everything and stand, but at the same time, like for me to talk on it like it's affecting my people in a certain way, I can't honestly feel right talking about it because I don't live through those things that you guys have to live through. You know what I
Now,
mean?
while I see your point, let me say this: is not your wife black? Is not her family black?
She is.
Aren't all your friends
They are.
black? You know what I mean?
Majority.
Majority. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I mean, you can say whatever you want to say. Somebody is going to agree with you and somebody's not, but you definitely do have a right to say it. But like I said, I'll respect if you don't feel comfortable saying anything, I'll respect that. You know what I mean?
Word.
I know Dr. Brooks with his black ass don't mind saying the thing. So,
Hold on. Hey, brother. I just want to say I definitely respect your stance on it. I just want to just ask that question. That's all.
No worries, man.
Dr. Brooks.
First of all, I don't understand the racial hate towards my people.
Man.
Honestly, no, seriously, I don't know what the fuck to say about this shit. You know what I tell people? Don't interact with law enforcement. Contact with these motherfuckers because if you are a black male or a non-white male, by sheer fact that you have a penis and your penis has the ability to penetrate a vagina and produce offspring, you are a threat. You will always be a threat. At no point in your lifetime will you not be a threat. Will that change in the future? Maybe one day. It hasn't changed for a fucking what's 1,000 years? I don't know what 1,000 years is, but I mean we on year 500 of this shit for sure with the slavery and shit.